Good morning, almost lunchtime, 11:30. It's Michael's birthday today, and we're here in quarantine COVID world. So I asked him what he wanted, and he said chicken soup. I have chicken soup in the freezer, but it's just the broth and vegetables. He wants the chicken. That's what he loves. So I'm going to make a big pot of chicken soup. I got it on already. I'm showing you the steps here. And it should, when it's done, when the leg falls off, when it falls off the bone, that's when the soup is done and you take the chicken out. Never let your liquid boil to a rumble because you'll have a cloudy soup. Keep an eye on it and keep stirring it, but leave it at a nice simmer and you'll have a beautiful clear chicken broth. We're going to put our vegetables in a little later, the carrots and the celery. However, everything else is already in there. And I didn't show the tomatoes, but I did drain the tomatoes, and I'm going to put some whole tomatoes in there to give it some color and texture. That's my secret. And I hope you enjoy my chicken soup recipe. It's pretty similar to my mom's and my grandmom's, a little bit altered. Anyway, have a great day and happy birthday, honey. I love you. I hope you like your chicken soup today. I know you will. Life with me, Gina Marie. We're making chicken soup because that's what my husband wanted for his birthday today. I use lots of tomatoes in my soup. We like it that way. I use pretty much half broth and half water to get started. I have celery, carrots, parsley root, whole peppercorns, onion, and garlic. Just grab a handful of those whole peppercorns and toss them in. I cut everything up, of course. I use a little salt with that also. There's my garlic and peppercorns, and we're going to toss those right into this big pot that was my grandmother's. Some salt, the onion, the garlic whole, and the parsley root. It's shaved like I got the carrots prepared and chopped those, and the celery. A little bay leaf is standing by. We put that in a little bit later once the soup gets boiling. So we started adding the organic chicken broth to the pot. Remember, equal parts water, whatever covers the chicken. We don't have the chicken in there yet, but you want to kind of guesstimate. So I just dump these in, and then I fill them with cold water and dump them in one more time. Usually I use about 3. Throw in my bay leaves this time. There's the onion in there, and there's our washed chicken, and I'm going to salt it a little bit. Seems like I'm using a lot of salt, but you really need this to get the flavor out, and you really don't taste it salty. But salt the chicken inside and out a little bit, and just drop them right in there. I got the heat going, medium to medium high. I'm waiting for a simmer boil. I don't want my soup to boil. I want it to simmer. Aside, I have some whole tomatoes that I'm draining right out of a can. I used to put a couple in for color, but we love the flavor and texture, so I put about 5 or 6 of these drained off tomatoes in a little bit here. Right now, we're waiting. We're babysitting this soup because we want it to be perfect and clear. So we want to skim that fat off the top and give it a little stir, and we're going to be doing that throughout the cooking process. As you see, I have a special ladle I like that just skims right on the top and stir it up. It'll keep coming back until it's finally gone and this broth transforms in so many colors and gets beautiful. Right now it looks like dirty water. We're going to skim that off the top right there. See our bay leaf floating in there and the little peppercorns. Waiting for that simmer. Want to keep it simmering. And you got to play with the heat a little bit so it doesn't boil too much. A roaring boil will give you a real cloudy soup. As soon as I see a little too much action, I turn it down to simmer again. I estimate about 2 hours for this whole process, but it's really done when the chicken falls off the bone. I'm adding my tomatoes at this point because it started to bubble a little bit. So I put the tomatoes, I got about 5 or 6 of them from the can. I drained most of the sauce off and put it aside in the freezer for another recipe. There we go. We got a simmer going on a medium-low heat. And I'm going around with the ladle to get that fat off the top and stirring it again. You got to pretty much babysit it the first hour. And then I set a timer for every 5 or 10 minutes to stir and check it. Now, it was going pretty good and hot, so I slowly added the vegetables. I turned the heat up when I did that so that it wouldn't cool down. And then I'll get it back to simmer again and stir. And again, skim the remaining fat off the top. And our soup is transforming into a beautiful orangey color now because of the tomatoes. And everything is coming together. It looked like dirty water before. It's going to look like I don't know, beautiful. So I'm watching. I want to get that simmer back. So I'm waiting. I'm going to put the lid on, set the timer, and keep an eye on it. Check it out again, and everything kind of floats to the top, and you want to just push it down and get your ladle and skim the fat off the top as it simmers beneath. Some chickens will take longer than other chickens. It depends on how big your chicken is, so... Like I said, when I move it and it's starting to fall apart, I know it's time and it's ready. I'm going to skim it again. It's rumbling a little too high here. I'm going to lower it a little bit as soon as I get together here. Get it to a lower simmer. And skim that stuff off the top. Put the lid on. Keep an eye on it though. That fat is still rising. Keep watching for it because you can get all that out and it looks really nice and clear and beautiful. I would say once this point hits, you got about another hour to go. So it depends. A couple of hours. This is a pretty big pot. I had to add a little extra water to cover everything. I didn't show that, but you can use your own discretion. It's done. It's falling apart. Oh, my. I think we're at that point. I see the chicken falling off the little legs, so I'm going to get ready to pull this out, I think. Maybe just a little longer. I don't know. Something told me a little longer. Again, it's your discretion. Oh, still going. I'm looking at the time on this video and doing my voiceover. It says almost 1 o'clock, and it is finished by 1:30. I had everything in the pot around 11:30. So, yes, about 2 hours. I'm pointing to the time there. I got a little out of sequence watching all my stirring. It's giving my vertigo. All right, time to get the water boiling for our little cini di pepe. They're teeny little pastas. I love them. And you don't want to cook them too long. They get mushy, but usually they say 6 minutes is it. But watch them. I think they're done when they float to the top, but you got to stir them. And when they start like floating up, you know they're done. Here's a trick. You put your wooden spoon across the pan like that, and it won't boil over. But you shouldn't walk away when you're doing this kind of thing anyway. But we've all had those boiled over pastas, water on our stove. So this is a good trick. Keep the spoon up there. See, this isn't done yet. It's clumping up a little. I'm going to stir it. Cini di pepe. So we'll let that cook for about 6 minutes, I think it took. not quite 6 minutes. It's starting to come to the top. So when it starts to come up to the top, I'm going to bring it over to the sink and we're going to run some cool water over it. Put a little cool water in the pan to get the ones that are sticking off and right into the colander. And I rinse it with some cool water to stop the cooking. It's good for your glucose to eat al dente pasta, slightly hard. It's better for your glucose, they say. So these are slightly hard, like we like them. Of course, when they get in the hot soup, they cook even more. So it's good to leave them like that. Don't cook them too long. All right. Come on, chicken. Are you ready yet? Let's check it out. Sorry, my tripod's wiggling. I'm getting a new one, I hope, that is a little more stable. Oops, it's boiling. We shouldn't have it be boiling like that. We must turn it down. Quick, quick, quick. Turn it down. And let's get this out of here. It's done. It's falling apart. It's been about 2 hours. I'm going to fish the onion and any bones, take out the parsley root. Michael loves the onion. It's very tasty and soft and beautiful. The garlic pieces, well, somebody will get a surprise. We usually pick those out, but somebody will pull it out. Now we're going to skin and debone our chicken and put it on the side, and then we kind of put into our soup what we like. Isn't it lovely? Strive to be happy. Happy birthday, Michael. I love you.